Welcome. I'm so happy you're here to share with us this amazing journey into the world of primitive and postural reflexes and how they influence our perception of the world and support, or not, our ability to shift our awareness. It is where the body meets awareness and consciousness. What is unique about this course is how it broadens your therapeutic horizons by bridging a part of our physiology to our psychological makeup. This course aims to bring the knowledge of how some primitive and postural reflexes, when retained, can contribute to your client's repeated behavioral patterns despite your best efforts as therapist and their willingness as client to expand their consciousness and grow. Its goal is to link your daily life and your work with this valuable tool and the benefits it brings. Dr. Porges placed physiology on the awareness map of psychotherapists. If your vagus nerve is in blue or red, your chances of engaging socially with others is severely limited, if not downright stopped. His theory of neuroception looks for danger and safety signs so that our autonomic nervous system can decide on the best course of action for us that will keep us safe. This neuroception skill represents one of the instances that biology precedes thought. Reflexes is another one of those instances of primacy of biology over conscious thought. Reflexes are the first step on our developmental ladder. Their constant activation in the womb supports the building of muscle tone, survival, and natural birth of the child. During the first year of life, they ensure its basic needs can be met on a physical level and its basic sense of safety, belonging, curiosity, boundaries, and bonding built. They foster the maturation of the central nervous system. In educational and specialized kinesiology, we have long known the importance of movement for learning and how reflex re-education supports academic performance. Now, when it comes to the adult population, what becomes clear is the effects of retained reflexes on a person's basic understanding of life on a body level. Psychotherapy, whether body or talk, is another way to approach all the information that the body stores within the nervous system, central and autonomic, the muscles, tendons, and physiology in general. The works of Reich, Pierakos, core energetics, Lowen, bioenergetics, Lisbeth Marcher, bodydynamic, and Peter Levine, somatic experiencing, among others. These works have established certain basic human defense strategies or armors observable on our physical bodies and connected with behavioral and psychological ways of being in the world. Regardless of the different approach each psychotherapy school uses, our basic defenses are created from our life in utero already, when our sense of connection and the safety of our existence were compromised. This is when our nervous system took strategic decisions of actions and reactions to external stimuli, and how our basic defenses started to build. Psychotherapy in general works on expanding our awareness and increasing our inner sense of safety so that our threshold of fear increases and we are triggered less easily. We will talk about Reich's work, which inspired Pierrakos, Lowen, and Marcher in their classification of defenses. He mentions 5 basic character structures: schizoid, oral, psychopathic narcissistic, masochistic, and last but not least, rigid. It takes 3 to 4 years for primitive and postural reflexes to mature enough and integrate to support the central nervous system and make higher brain functions readily available. The reflexes this course will focus on affect and influence the ability of the human being to ground and come into their body. In other words, it runs parallel to, and my observation is that it influences the development of schizoid character defense. Bringing reflex awareness into the picture bridges two worlds and enlists physiology for the healing of consciousness. When at its root the body and the nervous system have not integrated those basic, primitive and postural reflexes, our default mode is triggered much more easily, and we turn on our survival mechanism much faster than our conscious awareness would consider desirable. And since there is no cortical involvement in the process, we seem to be unable to change our reactive patterns. The 5 reflexes we will present you with here are chosen on the basis of the importance they have in how we perceive life when under their influence, and how this perception can shift once the body and the central nervous system that controls them, the reflexes, are given a second chance to mature and integrate. 5 reflexes that every therapist should know are fear paralysis reflex, bonding reflex, Moro reflex, parachute reflex, and Pavlov's orientation reflex. Why those 5, you will ask? Well, when reflexes are still active past their time, whether they are primitive or postural, they create a constant state of unrest and anxiety on the body level. Given how reflexes are not consciously controlled, this anxiety underlines every experience. It is rare that any one person has perfectly integrated reflexes at all times, as life happens, and those reflexes are there for our survival, and so will activate if this survival feels or is at risk. However, it is important that they are activated when the danger is real and not only perceived as such. Those 5 reflexes greatly influence the way we perceive the world. Taking information, can relate to others, can have a sense of self and unity with ourselves, can set our boundaries in a flexible yet strong way. Remember, we need our reflexes. They are here for our survival, and it is vital that they come out to support us whenever we really need them. However, in order for our lives to be what they can be, a celebration of life and a lifelong path of growth, evolution, and transformation, it is equally important that they, our reflexes, are inhibited, creating a solid and safe foundation of physiology upon which higher level functions, cognitive, affective, relational, can be erected. Whether you are a body psychotherapist, a talk therapist, a psychiatrist, a doctor that is regularly called to share challenging news with their patient, an HR consultant, a psychologist, or in any capacity in touch with people, this course is for you. Because unless we can shift from our survival mode to a safety mode, life cannot be lived to its fullest extent. So, let us begin.